I am Madrina. I'm an Aloha girl who grew up modeling, but I didn't have a model childhood. As a teen, the law and I were acquainted, but not necessarily in a good way, if you know what I mean. So I left Hawaii in my troubled past, moved to Pensacola, and opened a new business. Now, I'm a Louis-carrying, Gucci-wearing philanthropist. The adversity I faced as a child gave me the heart, compassion, and understanding for the work I do today as a volunteer and community leader. I've also improved my relationship with the law. Roll with me throughout our community and I'll introduce you to the many organizations and people doing amazing work. Aloha, and thank you for watching Rolling with Madrina. I'm Madrina Ciano, and I've got one of my buddies with me. It's Crystal Scott from the Habitat for Humanity, the Director of Development. Welcome, Crystal.
Hi, Madrina. It's so good to see you always.
Well, whew, you made it through 2020. Now we're at the end of January 2021. What is Habitat going to do to survive this year? It is an unusual year that we just came out of. We're hoping for a better year in 2021, but I know that you've got to be headed in a new direction with some new things. So what is it that the community needs to know about Habitat for Humanity in 2021?
Oh, there's so much to report. I have no idea where to start, but I think the best place to start, 2020 was tough for everybody, I think. It was extra tough for Pensacola Habitat because we had some leadership change, and I'm so happy to report that we do have a new CEO. And I think that is one of the things that we as staff are the most excited about for 2021. New leadership is so hard sometimes, but this transition has really been seamless. And so I think that I'm really excited to let our community know about our new leader, and looking forward to his aggressive movement to be able to serve more families here in Escambia and Santa Rosa counties. And so we're really looking forward to that for sure.
Who is your new CEO?
So he is Sam Young, and he is coming back to Pensacola, actually. It's kind of a really neat story. He began his naval career here at NAS, and years, and I won't say how many, but years and years later, he is back and excited to be back in Pensacola. He comes to us, he served for the Boys and Girls Club in New Jersey as their board chair, and he has tons of nonprofit experience on the board side. He served on several bank boards, and he is really looking forward to diving in, and he was looking for a challenge and also looking forward to coming back to Florida. And so he's here, and he has been able to do some really, like I mentioned, very aggressive things in order to put us in a really great spot in order to be able to serve more families here. And so that's something to be excited about in itself.
All right, I always forget that I know who you are and who you work for and what you guys do, but there could be some viewers tonight that have not, they're like, what, who's Habitat? Could you break it down simply what you do in regards to affordable home ownership and how someone becomes involved in your program?
Yeah, absolutely. So Pensacola Habitat for Humanity has been here in our area since 1981. And we broke ground in 2020 on our 1400th home. So we were able to successfully put 1,400 families and individuals into a situation to where they were actually the owner of their own home. And so we've been around for a long time. 2021 is actually our 40th year. And so we're thrilled to be able to say that, we're celebrating our 40th year this year. And how we are able to do what we do is from community support. So whether that is volunteerism, whether that is philanthropy, whether that is dedicating your talent in order to further our mission. But our mission is simply this: we build homes, communities, and hope. And I don't think that anybody does home ownership and affordably as good as we do. And so we're really proud about that.
That's really exciting. And, you know, it's a mission that I love to get behind, and a mission that my nonprofit, not-for-profit Crew of SWAT gets behind. We helped raise money and build the home in 2020 and a few years before that. And I know what an integral part those home builder volunteers are for your organization. And so you need people who are willing to donate, like you said off camera, their time, their talent, and their treasure. And I would just like to say, those that are watching today, if you have any interest in being on a construction job site and seeing the behind the scenes of what goes into, did I disappear there and come back? Or is that just on my end? It all went black and then you came back. But I would just like to say, if anyone's watching and they're interested in getting on a job site to see the behind the scenes, the Women Build campaign is a very unique experience where you get that hands-on feeling of constructing a home. And it's a real buy-in, a real investment into being a part of what Habitat does. So look into the Women Build campaign, and I'm sure she'll tell us more about it as you have several events throughout the year. But sorry about that. Back to the affordable home ownership, Crystal. Tell the viewers what that homeowner actually has to do leading up to being qualified to own their own home.
And so we pride ourselves in preparing people for home ownership. You know, a lot of people, when they are able to purchase their first home, they aren't really prepared for what that actually means. And so Pensacola Habitat has actually developed some educational courses. It's a series of classes that are required, anything from financial literacy all the way to home maintenance, how to be a good neighbor, you know, the things that don't really pop up and occur when you're in a rental situation. And so we really prepare you for what it means to become a homeowner and to become a successful homeowner. And then additionally, there is a sweat equity piece that you are actually required to go, and whether it's constructing your own home or helping another participant in our program construct their home. And so there's this real true bond and camaraderie among the participants in our program. It's a way that staff can get involved, get to know the people in our program, and it's just a really neat thing. The sweat equity piece is something that really gets the home buyer invested in what they're about to encounter, and it's a really cool thing.
It is a very cool thing, and I'm so honored to be a part of it. And the biggest part that I love about it is you're not just given a hand up. You're actually given, a handout. You're giving them a hand up to actually own their home, and you hold the mortgage. Habitat for Humanity holds the mortgage, right?
Yeah, that is right. And a lot of people don't know that. You know, what we are doing is simply this: we are providing an opportunity. Those who are committed to becoming homeowners, we will put you in that situation. We provide an affordable mortgage for people who, you know, wouldn't categorically qualify for, you know, a normal bank loan. So we're providing whatever size subsidy that the family needs in order to have an affordable mortgage, and then really working you through all the way throughout the program, throughout the mortgage. We are the mortgage servicer. Our loans are anywhere between 15 and 25 years. And, you know, that's what we do, affordable mortgages. And we find that our homeowners are, you know, they have a lot more disposable income. And so they're able to give back. They're able to contribute again to our economy. And it's just a really neat full circle for our community as a whole.
Right. Other than the sweat equity and all of that, is there any other criteria, like a low socioeconomical background, or is there any other criteria? Like, obviously you're not going to help provide a home for someone who's earning $150,000 and they're single, but so how does it work?
So we go by the HUD Income Guidelines, and so we use their eligibility criteria based on the size of the family. So, for example, four individual household can make up to a certain monetary amount, but the monetary amounts are based on AMI, which stands for Area Median Income. So it's really area specific based on our economy, but we serve families who fall in the range of about 50% all the way to 80% is really the families that we serve. We can also go down to the 30th percentile. So it's from the 30th percentile all the way up to the 80th percentile, area median income. And those guidelines change year over year. But people would be surprised at the people who are qualifying for our program. We are serving nurses, we're serving childcare providers, we are serving teachers. We're serving early career folks who are just starting out. We're serving single individuals who are looking for first-time home ownership opportunities. So it's not just specific to families. We do serve the individuals, and that's something that's not really understood widely by our community.
Because, I said before on the build site, and also to Sue Strawn and Angels in Our Midst when she came out to the build site, like, why do you do this? And I'm going to try really hard not to cry, but, as we sit comfortably in our home, all decorated nice for Christmas, there's someone that doesn't have that doesn't have a home and doesn't have space to gather with their family and all of those things like we did for the holidays. They might be in a small apartment, but home ownership can affect so many areas of that individual's life. You think about being able to go home to a place you call home that is safe, and a place for your children, and a place to rest and be strong for the next day, and a place to cook. And it just can really tap into so many aspects of that individual's life when you give them a home. And so that's why it's so important to me and my team to be a part of Habitat. And that's true, right, Crystal? When you give them a home, it just shifts their whole paradigm of life.
Yeah, it really is. And it shifts the focus for sure. What once was, am I going to pay my rent or be able to buy healthy food for my children? Making those impossible decisions, this eliminates that and allows for people to focus on what's important and focus on the good, and being able to provide a better life for their children than they maybe had. And so it's just accelerated trajectory of positivity for everyone who's involved. And so, being able to having that space, like you mentioned, and having that home, we hear over and over from our homeowners, over and over again, having a place that my kids can play, outside, having a yard. My children are able to have their own rooms. They can have their own space. They can focus. And so absolutely, everything that you mentioned is 100% true.
All right, we've got to take a short break and we'll be right back.
When I first saw a turtle, my heart was full. Now I'm anything but lonely.
We had this deep connection, this heart connection.
He just wants to be close to you and part of your life.
Every day with Turtle is a perfect day.
When I'm holding her, it makes me feel calmer.
I think everything he does shows how much he loves us.
When we adopt a shelter pet,
We discover
they're a little bit of a lot of things.
But they're all pure love.
love.
My name is Madrina Ciano, the host of Rolling with Madrina. I enjoy weekly bringing you topics about nonprofits in our community making a difference. Thank you to those of you that have reached out to be on Rolling with Madrina or to advertise on Blab TV. If you would like to sponsor an episode of Rolling with Madrina or advertise on Blab TV, give us a call. We'll be glad to help you out. Welcome back to Rolling with Madrina. I've got Crystal Scott here with the Habitat for Humanity. She told us all about what they do, who they do it for, and why they do it. But not only does she need us to volunteer and build homes and people to donate money, she needs the community to support her. And when we do that and we're able to grant that recipient an affordable home, it changes the trajectory of their life. It has long-lasting, lifelong impact. When you give, it's not giving, when you help that person earn that home and you give it to them at an affordable price and rate, it's just game changing. You no longer are living in fear. You feel secure. I think you feel more positive about your financial health. I think the kids probably feel safer and more balanced and could perform better in school. And those are all of the reasons why Habitat does their work. And thank God there's people like Crystal who dedicate their life to it. I mean, what you do is hard work. You're director of development. And that means your job is to get out there and bring forth those resources and that time, talent, and treasure to help further the mission of Habitat for Humanity. So it takes all of us, the village, the teamwork makes the dream work. It's a cliche, but that works for Habitat for Humanity. And you have some fundraisers, throughout the year. I really missed the food truck festival in 2020. I hope that we get that we have a vaccine by the time this airs and we can have another food truck festival. But what's 2021 looking like, Crystal?
Well, we can only go up from 2020 as far as fundraising goes. So there's positive. 2020 was rough. We did have to cancel our food truck festival, which is one of our largest food fundraising events. We canceled that in April. It was originally scheduled, and then we rescheduled for October of last year, and then now here we are a couple months out. And so we're really hitting the ground running, seeking sponsorships for this festival. It's a really neat way for businesses to get involved with our mission, and it's fun. You talk about my commitment and my life's work and all of that, but it's fun educating people and telling people about what we do and how they kind of fit with our mission. Because I don't care who you are. This touches you. This touches you. I don't care who you are. And so it's easy for me to talk to people and kind of let them know how they fit into this piece. And so this is kind of how we try and get small businesses, larger businesses to get some exposure. We're talking about 10 to 15,000 people from our community and beyond that come to this food truck festival. And so,
how many people? 1,500?
15,000.
Oh, 15,000.
Yes, 15,000.
It's going to be way up in 2021 because the people missed it. And if we learned anything about through the pandemic, we learned all about our food trucks and where they're parked and on what days. I mean, that became a staple of eating as we were in our lockdown phase. Of course, we ventured into, we can go into our restaurants here, but for a while there, I was food truck dependent, and I kind of looked at it as an excursion. So I think you're going to be going to have more people there.
Yeah, and I think so too. And people are, really getting on board with our food trucks. This will be our 6th year bringing this event to our community. And we look at it not only as a fundraiser, but a way to provide something that's exciting and fun for the community, a way that everyone in our community can come out and enjoy this beautiful place that we live. And so it's not just a fundraiser, it's also an awareness function that is a way to bring everybody together again, because that's our mission.
And supports locally owned small businesses.
Yes, it does. Yes, it does.
Food trucks. So that's great. That's one of your fundraisers, but you have a couple other, don't you?
Yeah, we certainly do. We already mentioned Women Build, and each year this is probably the most special build that we have, because we really get to know who that home buyer is. We really get to know, the story of that home buyer and, where that home buyer's been, where they're trying to get. We become connected to that story. And so each year we kind of select someone who is going through our program. And there's 2 components to Women Build, as you know. We not only fundraise, but we actually go out and build on that home. And so it's a really unique experience. It's a unique opportunity. Our teams are able to come out and on those build days, just really bond. And it's really powerful because you have this huge group of like-minded women who all care about the same thing, coming together, raising the funds, and building on this home for this other woman in our community. And it's just extremely powerful. And so I love, love, love Women Build. And that occurs every October. And so there are certainly sponsorships. There are certainly team opportunities to become involved. And so that's just another one of our larger fundraisers.
I love that. And I would encourage organizations, women's philanthropic groups, your aerobics team, your mommy's coffee group. Get out there. You're charged with raising $500 per female builder. It's very easy. You can put together raffles. Habitat offers events where you can raise money along the way, garage sales and whatnot. But it is great team building to get out there with a bunch of your sisters and put some sweat equity in yourself. So I'll encourage y'all to meet us out there this October. But don't you also do a golf tournament or some sort?
We do. It's a really cute name. It's called Habitat Golf for Humanity. You know, get for.
Yeah.
So, super cute. We actually have been partnering with Exit Realty International. This will be our 5th year bringing our tournament to our community. But the neat thing about our golf tournament, which sets it aside from the other golf tournaments in our area, is that Exit Realty actually matches up to $30,000 of the funds raised from this event. And so whether you're—
Way to go, Exit Realty. And Randy Bricker. Is my brother Randy Bricker the one that helps you on that? He's my boy. Good job, Randy. Well done, Exit Realty. We thank you.
Yes, yes, yes. And so that's been extremely impactful, like I mentioned, for the last 4 years, and we expect nothing less for this tournament this year. And so it's always a nice time, and we're really looking forward to that as well.
Let me just brag on you just a little bit, and you can embellish if you want. You know, I think about home builders and contractors, and I'm thinking Habitat for Humanity does as much as some of the big builders here. I asked my sister Crystal off camera for some of their metrics, and she said in 2020, they built 23 homes. They currently had, at the end of 2020, 87 approved home buyers ready to rock and roll and put in their sweat equity on a home. And they, at this time, 33 homes in progress being built. So they are no joke. They live and stand by their mission. If you want to be a part of something that's great, that gives someone a safe place to lay their head down at night and think, I own this. My landlord's not coming knocking. I'm not getting evicted. My child and I have a safe place. If that thought makes you feel good, then Habitat for Humanity is the organization you need to support. I mean, when you look at those metrics, sis, go ahead, brag on your team some more. Y'all are doing big things quietly.
We do. And, you know, the 87 approved families is really the one that sticks out to me the most. I mean, we can build all day long, and we have building kind of down to a science. You know, we know how to build affordably. We are pretty much the only people here in our area that are doing what we're doing. And so we've got that down. You know, obviously we need the volunteers, but 87 families. We had no idea when we were setting this budget that we would have that kind of interest and that we would be able to provide that kind of impact. And so, you know, you talk about 87 families, that's 87 homes, you know, and so
that's more than, when you say 87 families, you're talking about way more individuals. You're affecting that whole family. It's impressive.
It really is. And we do it quietly, and we have had to figure out a better way to make people know what it is that we're doing and let people know. I mean, we live, breathe it. But like you said, we do all of these things very quietly.
Yeah.
And we've decided that 2021 is our time to get loud because we can't do this alone.
I love it. It's your year to get loud. I love it. Well, get loud here, because you know we've got like 2 minutes left, in a perfect world, sis, what do you want? Just put it out there to the universe. What is it that you want and need?
We need it. We need your time. We need your treasure, and we need your talent. We need what you have, what you're able to give to our mission. That's what we need. We are looking at all of the options. We've had to reach outside of the box to figure out how we are going to serve all of the families that come to us. How are we going to be able to meet the need of our community? And so that's what we're focused on. And we need for our community to get on board. You know, there's a lot of talk about 500 homes in 5 years and all of these things, and nobody does it better than us. We realize that, and we want more people to realize that, because we've been doing this since 1981. So yeah, let's get loud.
Yes, and I just think that you guys have a wonderful program there. Where can they find you? You're on Facebook, sis?
Yes, we are. Facebook. Our website has everything that you would want to know and more, PensacolaHabitat.org. Our Facebook page, our social media, all of our handles are available on our website. We are very heavily social media oriented, and so our team does a really good job educating people in that manner. We try to get the information out in all of the ways that people are receiving it at this time, and so we're trying to stay up to date and get it out there. PensacolaHabitat.org. Our phone number is 850-434-5456, and feel free to email us at info@PensacolaHabitat.org.
All right. Well, you heard it all there. She's got all the facts laid out for you. Please support Habitat for Humanity, and thank you for rolling with Madrina. Aloha.
When you adopt a shelter pet, you discover their unique mix of all kinds of traits.
Where'd Wiley go? Where's Wiley? Ah, there she is. Paw?
Do you remember being an ancient wolf? Do you ever feel the call of the wild?
You're a renegade cop, and I'm a con woman with nothing to prove. But together, we could really solve this murder. They're a little bit of a lot of things, but all of them are pure love.